What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Today we're taking a look at a really unique, interesting little lipless crankbait on the market, the Thunderhawk Sergeant. It just so happens I've got Mike from Thunderhawk here, the designer, so I'm going to have him take us through a few kind of things that he's looked for in this one and why he created it, a few different models, but I'm going to hand it over to him. Mike, tell us about him.
The Sergeant, we've spent a ton of time on this, and this has been a ton of research of just fishing over the years. For the last 30 some odd years, I've been fishing a lot of different places throughout the country and Canada, and I always fish lipless crankbaits. I love fishing lipless crankbaits because of the diversity you can have with a lipless. You can fish it any part of the water column. But what I want to create is something that does a little bit of everything that I liked. And what we did with that, we implemented a system on our lipless from the Sergeant that it sits nose down, tail up every time on the bottom of the lake. And another thing I noticed over the years, I lost a lot of fish fishing lipless, and it's because of the hooks. People don't understand, most times they hit this bait fish, they try to swallow it whole.
They'll T-bone it.
And you lose a lot of fish. So what I did was create a swivel system in both the front and the back of our Sergeant. And you've seen it out here. Fish get this pin in their mouth and they can't get it out because they have no leverage. Now what happens over time, people fish traditionally with a lipless over the years, they get one hook in it. They say, well, that's a bad color choice, or they're just slapping at it. No, they had the whole thing in their mouth. They were just able to get leverage. So we came up with a system. We hit a home run on this, and our sales, by the feedback we've got from everybody across the country, showing the same thing. People love this.
Yeah, because you said this is the best-selling item that you've got in the Thunderhawk catalog, right?
2-to-1.
The Sergeant?
2-to-1. And we think also because people can fish this anywhere.
Sure.
Bank fishermen, boat fishermen, kayak guys. What I wanted to do when I originally started it, I wanted a Rattle one, and I also want a silent one, because not hardly anybody makes a silent. And over the years, I've killed them certain times on a silent, but they're exactly the same size, the original one. What we did is made 3/4 Rattle with a weighting system in it, and we have a 1/2 ounce that's silent. With that, we got huge feedback. Like you said, we've created some new models.
Yeah, let's take a look at those.
We got the Sergeant Major on top. Then we created this real small one called the Little Sergeant. It's about 3/8 of an ounce. But the hardest thing we had to do, we still want to incorporate the same action when we get out of the 1/2 ounce and 3/4 size. And we were able to do that with a lot of testing and a lot of patience, if you will, to create that exact same action with these bigger and smaller baits that we did the original size. And since the silent is so popular and the feedback we're getting, we made all these silent as well.
Yeah, I think this little 3/8 ounce, a silent around us and a lot of the ponds, I fish a lot of small lakes and stuff. This little kind of finesse 3/8 ounce, like you said, that still has enough of a bill here to vibrate and get that, because a lot of the small ones, just a little too small and you can barely feel it. So
yeah, you can
still
have that vibration on the little one. It took a lot to get it right.
Now the big one too that you said, I thought that was interesting, because a lot of the big ones you're thinking, oh, what, 3/4, an ounce, 2 ounces? How heavy is this thing going to be when you get rattles in it? Well, they decided to go silent with it, and I like that you said that you can just kind of slow roll this.
Yeah, and this one I wanted to, because most of the bigger ones on the market in years past, I like the bigger profile, but I still want to fish the same areas. So it's hard to do if they fish like a rock. So I wanted to incorporate the bigger one to be silent and still have that right action. It depended on the bait fish they're eating. That's why we created the different sizes, matching the hatch, so to speak.
Yep. Yeah, that small one for now will be great.
Yeah.
Now, with the introduction of these new ones, I know you've got some new colors and stuff. So these should be coming out in the next month or so, hopefully through November, toward the end of November. And there's going to be 12 new colors, and I think you've got a couple samples here, because I know one of these is not in the 1/2 ounce and 3/4 ounce that I really, really like.
Yeah, we've tried to create what we think, and feedback we got, the favorite top 12, and then also my favorites as well. Some of them we've not even done in our lipless Sergeants. There's one that I know he really likes.
Y'all have seen me fish this in the A10. To have this in the lipless, oh, this is the iced tequila color. Absolutely love that one.
Another hugely popular one since it came out with it last year was the Go Shad. That thing is dynamite. Camera may not pick it all the colors up, but there's a purple hue in it.
Look at it in the sun. Look at that.
The bait fish, the smallmouth, the largemouth, the spotted bass, absolutely love that color right there.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's like a transparent bone with a hint of chartreuse. And like you said, that holographic kind of iridescent purple on there is, oh.
And then we got some colors that I really, really like. The fish called the Spawn, and I created this up north. It's got a little chartreuse, a blue hue to it, a pearl hue to it, but again, it changes colors from the bottom as you're looking at it. Very popular color, very fish catching color. we try to create a reflection in all our stuff when it goes by. And we were able to do that with the new color, the Asian carp, and put it in the new one. This one's going to be a killer too.
Chrome, yeah, basically chrome black.
If they're eating baitfish, they're going to eat that.
That's a good one.
Mikey Ball's favorite, the Gunnersville Smasher, we call it, is a metallic red. Nobody else is doing that color, so we did it in the big one and the little one, and the regular size is metallic red. There's been a bunch of tournaments. It's a secret, and I love secrets, but it doesn't do us any good not to let people know what's really working.
Right. Okay, after we got done talking about colors, I was like, Mike, what are your 3 favorite? You know, when you look at a shelf of lipless, there's a ton of them out there. So what would be like your top 3 and why?
My top 3, I've got in my hand right here. The Spawn is on the top, the Ghost Shad, and the Black Gold. The Black Gold, I think these 3, for me, my personal belief, I can cover just about any water clarity with this I want. I got the Ghost Shad, if it's super clear on either cloudy days or sunny days, doesn't really matter. The Spawn I'll use in the springtime, more of a brighter color, but it still gives off that special hue. Then the Gold is my favorite when you got that stained water, tinge in the water, but it's sunny outside. I always throw Gold blackback, and this is a sleeper anymore.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah, we proved that point up here. So we're actually at the lake that he's done testing on and such. Come up here to do some fishing with the Thunderhawk guys. And this exact one, this was the one that they wanted, this gold blackback. Most all the footage from the lipless you're going to see is from this. So yeah, stained water, and I've preached it before too, gold and stained. Usually for me, like in cleaner water, I'll go silver or chrome blackback, but that gold up here was money. And it was pretty clear. I mean, it was clear water for the most
clear
part.
water, but if you have sun out too, and you have any type of move, like a wind, especially you got wind or you got some type of stain moving around in the water's clarity is stirred up just a little bit, that gold, for whatever reason, it really does the trick.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, Mike, I know there's been a huge, uptick or demand in the silent. What would you kind of give as loose rules on when are you going to throw a rattling versus a silent?
There's a couple of really distinct things I look for. Is one, even water clarity. I'll throw a rattle more often. Early spring, when I'm covering water. Let's say I'm really burning a bait and I want to get it on the bottom. That's why I made the 3/4 ounce in the rattle so I can beat on the rocks. I really beat the rocks with it. That change of pitch. I want to hear it and see it from a long ways because I'm really burning a lipless. Usually it's got the rattles in it.
Okay, and then silent, so maybe more of the calm, a little bit cleaner water, or pressure.
Silent for me is number of factors, and I think a lot of it is pressure, like you said, and they're hard to find in silent, and I use that probably 90% of the times as silent. There's certain unique situations I fish the rattle, to be honest with you. When I'm really burning it, fish are super active, that's when I'll throw a rattle bait. Just
talking with him, I think the versatility of these, because I'm not big on jigging a lipless, right? So more the vertical, fishing it on the bottom. You know, as bank anglers, I do a bunch of that, and within 2 casts, I'm losing that lipless. But with this one, it was interesting because it doesn't fall as quick, like you was saying with that silent, because I like to yo-yo it. Y'all have seen me do that on a good little drop-off, especially in the spring, when you've got some green grass growing, casting that out and just yo-yoing it, letting it fall, and testing this and watching it, it kind of falls nose down with just a little bit of a shimmy. So it's not overly aggressive. It's not like a bomb, just shooting through, kind of this lifeless kind of flutter. And I know you said you kind of designed it that way, so.
Got him. And I'm recording. All right. I did it right this time. Look at it. Yes! Toad! Toad!
You know what?
Hey, double! Double!
With giants.
Just have Mike take the picture with it really close. We'll hold our arms out really far.
All right, fishing friends, as we said, that's a look at the unique Thunderhawk Sergeant Lipless Crankbait. Currently in 2 different weights, the 1/2 ounce and 3/4, but those other 2 sizes coming soon. I'm excited for. Of course, I'll leave my link below for Tackle Warehouse. I'll leave the Thunderhawk link below too. You can get them over there. They've got a bunch of other stuff you can check out. But Mike, thanks for joining me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you going through that. I'm excited to fish them. So till next time.